Hey everybody, CT Legacy here, and we're going to do a little looper shootout, if you will. I guess first thing you have to point out is, man, the packaging for the Aeros Loop Studio. I'm absolutely just kidding, but for some reason in every single review I've watched, that's the thing that they talk the most about, is how nice the packaging is. So, wow, great job on the packaging, guys. But I'm going to try to make this as fair as possible. We're going to use the Headrush Looperboard versus the Aeros Looper Studio, I think they call it. Yeah, Loop Studio, Aeros Loop Studio. So we're going to try them out. We're going to record on both of them, which no one seems to want to do. We're going to do actual loops on both of these. And I'm going to talk about pros, cons, etc., etc. I'm a live looper, been doing it for about 400 shows a year for the last few years. This Headrush Looperboard has seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not 1,000+ gigs on it. Very used. That's how I actually got in the market to buy a new looper, was because this one's starting to have some button issues here many millions of years on sandy beaches later. And so here we are. So I'm going to show an example of what I think is one of my favorite loops. So I'll do it real quick. I'll actually probably do two. We'll do two loops, and then we'll recreate them on the other one, and then we'll compare. So for starters, here we go. Oh, I play through a Taylor T5, okay? So that's what you're hearing this on, and here we go. There's a drum loop. Add a little on top of it. Okay, so there's our first loop. All right. Now, a couple of things on this looper in particular. Let's say you don't like this track here. You want to redo this, okay? So you can stop it. Let's stop everything, actually. You can stop it. And when I hit the undo right now, the only thing it will do is erase that top, the second part of the track. And you can also put it back. So, redo, undo, whatever you want, all right? So now, like the drum track, you don't like that one, you could literally hit that and hold it, and it will erase. It will erase the drum track, but once you overdub, it'll only erase your last overdub. It won't erase the whole track. But on the fly, let's say, well, let's do something else. Here, let's just start this back up. I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna go, oops. Now I don't want that in. Oh no. So now I want to delete that. I can get rid of that, right? That's still there. But now that's as far as I can go. But on the fly, I can do this, 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 and I've got a blank track again there. Now I can start all over again. So there you go, right? And then you're right back where you were. You can do that on the fly. Erase the whole thing. Now we're good to go on another one. So I'm going to show you one more real quick. part too. So there you go. Now, let's say that you decided right now, well, we'll talk about that in a little bit here. Just know that's where we're at right now. So I'm going to shut the Headrush down, and we're going to power up the Aeros, and then we're going to try to recreate those and see what kind of luck we have with it. So here we go. Bear with me here. I should, while we're down here, also point out the inputs and outputs on this are extremely lacking. Like, very disappointed with the inputs and outputs on this. So I don't even use 1/4-inch cables. I did them for this just for the purpose of being able to do it here, but I don't use 1/4-inch cables anymore. So here we go. We'll switch you. That's my out, obviously. Guitar in. We'll try this. So we're back. We're up and running again. Let's see here. All right. So I want to do a. All right. I think we're at a recording point here. So let's see. First off, I'm just gonna put the drum beat down. Ready? We have a problem right off the bat, okay? And that problem right off the bat is it requires you to tap a tempo in and then get really lucky. So we're just gonna try this again here. Hopefully that's enough. Wait a minute. No, that's not going to work here. Hang on, we need a new... Alright, so now we got to tap a tempo here. Okay, there's the tempo. We're going to try this again. Ready? Okay, I got lucky. So we're going to try it again. We're going to do the next track. Best part of this whole unit is that you can turn down like that. So now we're going to set up the next one. So now, what I really need to do right now is I need to stop and or mute the guitar track. So if I do this, I don't... Alright, but is it still there if we do this? Yeah, okay. So, right off the bat, whoops. Right off the bat, you get stuck right there. But we actually got really lucky on that track. So let's try, the other one's a little more complicated. So let's try figuring out how that's going to work. Because I'm going to show you another problem right off the bat. Here, let's see. All right, 127. So let's try it. All right, hang on. Let's try it again here. Let's back up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, didn't work the first time. Let's try it again. Ready? Still not right, but I could probably live with that. Okay, I think it's there. So now, once again, I have to stop this so I can play the verse right here. So we're just gonna say you got into it here. She was an American girl, blah blah blah. Okay. Now we're gonna get to the. Oh wait, we're still actually. Okay. Alright, so as a live looper, I'm just gonna break to it right here. Alright, so I think we've done enough of the video that we can now talk about this unit like people talk. First off, I don't know who their targeted audience was with this looper. Like, this is not a solo guitar player looper. Like the videos, I've seen a couple videos where they hooked it up to a Beat Buddy or something, which that's not really looping. That's just kind of playing with a drum machine. So like, if they would have called this a drum machine assistant or something, it would have been a better option. But to call this a looper, it has the bare qualifications to be called a looper. Inputs and outputs, no XLRs, no level adjustment. Like if you put your guitar in, you have to be able to adjust from the source, because you can't adjust it here. There's no adjustments on this. Truthfully, this unit is a toy. Like it's a very, if this was $100 pedal, I'd go, okay, yeah, for $100, I suppose this is pretty neat for $100. And you know, in somebody's hands who isn't a live performer, who doesn't have to use this in the wild, it's probably fine in a bedroom for a guy who just wants to lay down a guitar part so he can solo over top of it in his bedroom. This is a great product for that. However, this is a lot of freaking money for a product that does almost nothing. Like they shouldn't even compare. This should not be compared to the Headrush. It just shouldn't be. The Headrush does more with 2 buttons than this whole unit does, and they're not that far apart in price. Now, I'm not a Headrush fan either. Like that, I use that looper because I do believe it's the best looper in the market, but it's, you know, the company Headrush is junk too. Like they just got lucky and built a great looper, but I'm not proud of their stuff either. So I don't want anybody thinking like anybody pays me to say anything good about Headrush, because I don't. You can go on the Headrush's Facebook page, and my name's on there lots of times bitching about Headrush. They're not a quality company either, but they've got the best looper on the market, hands down, for people who do what I do. 4 tracks, you can like I'm in a duo too that you can put. You know, you've got 4 inputs on the back of this, including XLR for vocals, whatever. So I mean, I can record harmonies with my vocals and then re-record them again, which there's no way to do that with this. This is nothing having to do with XLR microphones. There's not only that, but I have individual levels for if I put a guitar in track 1, or not in track 1, in input 1, a bass in input 2, my vocal in input 3, and my duos partner vocal in input 4. I have individual level controls for all of those. Then not only that, I can say on track 1, since that's my drum track, I only want input 1 to record on track 1. On track 2, we record bass parts on that too. So on track 2, I want input 1 and input 2 to record on input, or on track 2. And then on track 3, I only want my vocal to record on track 3, so I can tell it only track 4, or only input 4, sorry, I keep saying track, only input 4, which is my microphone, gets recorded on track 3. Nothing else gets recorded on there. So you can, if you're playing guitar and bass and singing, the only thing it records is the singing. Track 4 is my guitar and my vocal, still no bass. So the only track that bass gets recorded on is track 2. So you have all these individual routing options. I don't use any of the effects in the Headrush, and that, quite frankly, was unnecessary. And if I could bought a unit that didn't have that, I would have, just to avoid the headache. But the again, just side by side, this looper should not. This is literally like comparing a Schwinn pedal bike to a Lamborghini and saying which one's better at getting you from point A to point B. Well, it's always going to be the Lamborghini, in my opinion. There's tools for every job. This is not the right tool for this job. I mean, you could pound a nail in with a screwdriver, but a hammer would do it way better. And this is a screwdriver. Like, I without saying too many more negative things about this, this just isn't a viable product for any normal looper. So, like when I say looper, I mean like live looping, a person who does this in a bar 7 days a week that needs a looper. It'd be awesome because, man, it weighs nothing. My Headrush weighs 17 pounds. This weighs maybe 2 pounds, I'm guessing. But man, the packaging, woohoo! I'm just kidding. But they, this looper just, I tried every possible situation with this without doing it on the video to bore you guys to tears. But I tried to give it a shake because I really want, because it feels like, I mean, it feels good too. That's the other nice thing, is that, like, these buttons, I wish every unit I had this button instead of the little tiny button. This feels like a foot switch to me, it doesn't feel like a push button. And this thing is rigid, it feels good, it's tight, a very nice construction, like the build quality, it's either got some metal in it or all metal or very durable plastic. It feels very solid. Like I said, lack of inputs and outputs, super concerning. Lack of any kind of level adjustment for inputs, super concerning. Nothing can be done on the fly on this thing. Like, I don't know what else to say other than nothing can be done on the fly. Everything takes preparation, right down to recording your first loop. You have to pick a tempo. You can't just, like, Headrush has 4 different things. I use the sync, it's called, which means I can literally just press record, start making noise. When I'm done making noise, press stop, and that is the length of the loop. That becomes what they call the master loop. And then everything else that I record, as long as it's the same length or a multiplier of that, like, so if it's 1 measure, I can record 1 measure, or I can record 4 measures, as long as it's a even. I can't record 4.5 measures. So as long as it's a multiplier of that, it records it. Boss and Roland, all their loopers do the same thing. They have that. Like, these guys were supposed to be this super cool new thing, and it's literally, it doesn't even employ the old technology very well, let alone anything new. It's not in a situation that it does anything that made me think, ooh, wow, I have to have this, because I got it yesterday, and I can tell you after playing with it like 4 hours, I don't have to have this. Like, I have to have another Headrush is what the problem is. And for the price, I wouldn't buy this. I would not buy this product for the price point that it's at. $700. This product is not worth $700. It's not worth $200. Like, I'd love to sell this thing on an infomercial and be like, what would you expect to pay for something like this? $900? Not today. $700? I don't think so. 3 easy payments of $33 to $33 is what this thing should be, like $99, because it's just not. It's not a good product, and I don't know if there's updates coming that would make this a good product. But honestly, the 3 buttons. I thought about this all night long. Like, how could you make this? Because not having, like, the double tap thing to stop a track, I forgot about that. We could have done that. There was a spot you can double tap and it stops a track. I forgot about that. But double tapping anything, that's stupid. That sets up a huge fail point right off the bat to have to double tap something. So I thought, well, maybe you could put like this is the start recording, this is the stop undo, and then this is the next track, and then stop. But then I was like, how do you get back? Maybe you could make it so this was, which, yeah, I just don't know. Honestly, I just don't know. Like if these were bank buttons instead of whatever they are now. But there's just no way to make this be a functional looper. I'm really sorry, but for, you know, $99 you can get an RC3 Roland looper that is actually better at its job than what this is. For $8.99 you can get the Headrush looper, which is exponentially better than this, 100x better than this thing. So all these videos who compare it side by side, and they're like, oh, I don't know. I've heard the dumbest things from people because I'm sure they're paid advertisement. I'm sure that Singular Sound sent them one of these and said, say nice things and you can have it. And because like I've heard things like, oh, I don't know, the Headrush has too many buttons on it. No, too many buttons is a good thing. Like the more buttons, the better. The more single function buttons you can have, the better your life will be, always. Like I will even accept, because I play an FM3, a Fractal FM3, that's my processor. So I can even handle the 3 buttons that I push once, it does one thing, and if I push and hold for a second, it does another. That's even better. But this double tap nonsense, that's no way to, you can't do it live. You can't count on this looper live. That's probably the biggest takeaway from my 15-minute video here, is you could not count on this to do its job live, because you are a factor in how this performs, and you are not consistent enough as a human being to make this work right every single time. And I dare someone to prove me wrong. Like, please, someone make a video of what I just did and make it better than what I can do on it, and I'll apologize up and down. But this is not, in starting with code. So I'll even give you a song that you can't duplicate. So I do it's The Weeknd's I Can't Feel My Face When I'm With You. That song. So on my looper, I record, we'll just grab this 17-pound Bodaker a second, hang on. Okay, so on my looper, put the drums on track 1, put the guitar on track 2. Down here, now the main guitar is different from, it might even be the same actually, but I think the main guitar and the chorus guitar are different. So down here, I record the guitar and my voice singing the chorus, so that I can play this back and then do the other part of the chorus over it. So I have my vocal playing out of here, and then I can sing a different vocal over it. There is not a chance in hell. Well, I've got this here. Look at all the input options you have. For the universal Canon plug things there, the XLR outs, 1/4 inch outs, phone, expression pedal, all controls for every input. That's what I was talking about. So like, here's my guitar, here's my bass player's input, here is my bass player's vocal, here's my vocal, and you can adjust any of those. You can make it be anything you want. Oh, he's too loud, turn it down a little bit. It's you can almost use this as a mixer, which we do. So, you know, I don't know who their target audience was. So I feel bad making this video be that long and drawn out, but I don't know who their target audience is, because it's not guys who do this for a living, and they'd be the ones who would justify the $700 expense. So anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks. Sorry, I wish it was better, but it's literally the most disappointing piece of equipment I've bought in years. So this is actually my 3rd time I had to make the video, because I couldn't think of anything nice to say about it before. But I tried to calm it down a little bit here, because I wasn't as mad about it as I was yesterday. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry. And Singular, I hope you find a way to make a better product, because this one's no good. So thanks, guys. I just thought I'd give you an honest opinion. Thanks.